To create a simple marble nail, all you have to do is start with a base color of what you want the base to be under the marble. Then you're going to cure that polish and apply a second coat of that same color. Leave that second coat wet and then use your white polish and a dotting tool to create a vein into the wet polish. Then cure that under your lamp. Now we're going to create a plaid nail. So with this one, you can polish your nail white as a base, cure that under the lamp, and then use whatever color you want the plaid to be. So here I have chosen Cloud 9, and you just create a straight stripe on either side of the nail and leave the white in the middle. Then you're going to go across the nail. Depending on the size of your nail, you can do 2 stripes across, but just make it so that there are white squares in between. Next, while that's curing, we are going to create a fern nail. So I have just put a nice nude color underneath on the base, and we're using Feeling Ferny to create a fern look. So all you have to do is draw with your dotting tool, and you can create the leaves. If you make mistakes, just feel free to wipe them off. You can also flash cure. If you get some really good looking ones, then you can flash cure it so that you don't have to worry about those wiping off. Just let yourself be creative. Don't be too hard on yourself, and you can always fix things the second coat. So you want to cure that under the lamp after you have all of your leaves as you want them to be, and then you can make adjustments on the second coat. So we'll go back to our plaid nail, and you're just going to apply a second coat of that Cloud 9. Make it so that it's a little bit more solid. It's hard to get a good solid color over top of white, so it probably will take 3 coats. And you can cure that under the lamp. Going back to our fern nail, I am just adding a little bit of black on the very edges of the leaves. So this just adds a little bit of dimension, also kind of makes it look a little bit neater. So you can just do a really small stripe on the bottoms of the leaves just to make almost a shadow effect, and just adds a little bit of dimension to the fern. And that one's all done. So you can cure that under the lamp, and we'll go back to our plaid. So here you're going to apply your final coat of the Cloud 9 just to get it a really good solid color. And then you're going to cure that under the lamp. Next, I'm going to try a Easter nail. So I'm going to polish the base a nice pink. So this is actually Cupcakes and Heels, and we're going to cure that under the lamp. Now I'm going to go back to the plaid. So you're going to use black, and you're going to create squares on the sides of the stripes that you went across the nail. So you're just going to put those squares on those little areas. And again, you can flash cure if you are nervous about, getting it all right, but you can always wipe it off and restart as well. So you're going to make those squares, and that is all there is to it. Look how cute that looks, and it was so simple. So you're going to cure that. Back to the Easter nail. So here we're going to put a bunny on the bottom. So we're going to apply white polish, create the bunny's head there, and then we're going to make some ears. You can just use your dotting tool to kind of push the polish straight up and then go out from the sides of that. So you can push it out. It's easier sometimes to just do the smallest lines and then use the dotting tool to just push it out a little bit from there. You can cure that just so you don't mess anything up, and then I'm just applying a lighter pink, which I've mixed Cupcakes and Heels with white, and I'm just applying that to the insides of the ears. And then I'm just going to use a brush to apply a little bit more white on the base, just so that it's a good solid white color, and I will cure that. Next, I'm going to start a little bit of a fun Easter egg nail. So I've applied white as the base, the color is lovey-dovey, and then I'm just gonna do a zigzag effect on here. So I used April in Madrid for the peachy orange, Amalia for the teal, and Cupcakes and Heels for the pink, and Madame L for the purple. So this is just a fun little way to get an Easter egg effect. Something simple, everyone can do this one, and it just looks really cute on a white nail. You could use that as just your accent nail, so you could have that one nail with a solid mani for the rest of it. But that one, I just love that simple design. For the bunny, I am going to add black as the eyes, and I was super confused about whether bunnies had black or pink noses here. So I wiped off the black nose because it actually is pink. So I mixed a little bit of Cupcakes and Heels and white to make the nose pink. Then I can just add the white into the eyes and cure that. So next we're going to make tulips in grass, and I have made blades of grass with the color Sublime and a little bit of white on my brush, and we're just going to cure that under the lamp. And finally, we are going to do a floral nail. So this is just going to be the side of the flower, and we are going to use Easter colors again, since that is what is coming up. So I'm starting with Madame L, and I am just creating the outer layer of the flower, and I'm going to cure that one. So while that's curing, let's create our tulips. So I have Madame L for a purple tulip here, and Cupcakes in Heels for another tulip. I'm going to cure them just so they don't get messed up while I do the other ones. So back to our floral one, we are going to add another layer, so you can just fill it in. It doesn't have to be super neat because you're going to go over it a little bit more precisely with the next color. So you can kind of just go inside of that outer layer with that pink, and once you're done that, you will cure it. Back to our tulips, I'm going to add one with April in Madrid for a peach tulip, and one last one with Amalia for one teal colored tulip. I'm going to add a little bit of Feeling Ferny with a really thin brush just for the stems, just so that they stand out a little bit more than the blades of grass. Then I'll just add a little bit of Sublime onto my brush to kind of get it to mix together a little bit, and just fill in the little spots that I'd like it almost to look like leaves, and cure that. Finally, I am going to put Lily of the Nile inside of the Cupcakes and Heels here, and fill that in, and then cure that under the lamp. And for the final touches on the flowers, I'm just going to use a little bit of Raven's Kiss for a little bit of black dimension to it, just to lightly outline parts of the flower where I want it to stand out. For the last color in the flower, I am just going to use April in Madrid and fill in that final little bit of space on the side. So there we have 7 different super simple nail designs, and I hope that this inspires you to try your own.